Hey guys, it's yours truly, InterviewClues here. Now I know this week is Sonic Frontiers week when Sonic Frontiers is literally coming out tomorrow by the time this video comes up. But next week is also going to be a special week for me because it's the release of the big Blue's Clues and You movie, Blue's Big City Adventure, which I am extremely, if anybody knows me, hyped for. So I figured what better way than to celebrate the upcoming release of that, and don't worry, I'll still have some Sonic stuff on the side for later, but than to get an interview with another Blue's Clues fan. And I just so happen to have one here that I just stumbled across quite a few days ago, actually. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Smart Rascal. Actually my real name is Dwight Burgess, but I run the channel Smart Rascal Studios on YouTube as well as on Wattpad and TikTok, and I'm a proud fan of Blue's Clues.
Welcome aboard, dude, and welcome to InterviewClues. It's good to have you aboard, man. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I would figured I might as well come back with this, since Blue's Clues is literally coming out next week, and we have new episodes all this week. So,
whoa,
yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell the fans a little bit about yourself? Because Smart Rascal here, unlike quite a few of the other people I've interviewed, isn't as known, I should say. He's known around parts, but he's not known, I should say. So why don't you tell the folks a little bit about what you do?
Well, I like to make YouTube videos and TikToks, and I like to have a nice Lego collection. I'm a big fan of animation and Legos and Lego Movie 2 and Animaniacs. And recently I've just gotten back into my love of Blue's Clues, especially Blue's Clues and You.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So he is a big fan. Another thing he does is he just mentioned Wattpad, and for those who don't know what Wattpad is, it's basically fanfiction.net, but commercialized, to put it simply. And he runs quite a few stories on there, I've seen. But before we get into that, I figured we go into your history with the show. So, my first question is, how did you learn about Blue's Clues? Were you like a lot of us? Did you learn about it as a kid, or did you learn about it as a teen? How did you get into the show?
Well, I'm not really quite sure, but I think I used to start watching it on Nick Jr. when I was little, the original, and somehow I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with Steve, and Blue, and Tiggity, and Mailbox, and all of them, and they were my childhood. I really loved helping Blue and Steve and Joe find the clues and find out what Blue wanted to do. It was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. Do you still have anything from that childhood, from those childhood days that you still hold on to from your old Blue's Clues days? Because I have still quite a few. I still have quite a few questions.
I still hold my old Blue's Clues days near and dear to my heart, and I really love the Mail Time song. It's a classic. I just whenever I get mail, I get reminded of that song.
Who doesn't love the Mail Time song? I'd be surprised if I come across one person who didn't love the Mail Time song. It's literally the most iconic one, if not the most iconic. So you said, for those who don't know, if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been doing a countdown to the clues, counting down the days, and I've been posting a question a day, about Blue's Clues or anything related to Nick for leading up to the big Blue's Clues movie. Just finished up my last batch for the final for the final 2 weeks, this week and next week. And you said on one of my questions that you learned about the Blue's Clues reboot when it was first coming out. So I'm curious, what was your reaction when you found out that Blue's Clues was coming back? Because I was surprised.
I was freaking excited. right when I saw Josh, I'm like, wow, wait, hold on, wait, why is he wearing his shirt? Like, wait, does this mean? And Blue came out, like, oh, Blue's Clues is back, yes! And like the new song was a bop. I literally started jamming onto it when Josh started strumming on his guitar. And then when I saw like Tiki Talk and Slippery Soap and Shovel and Pail and Miss Soap and Miss Pepper, Cinnamon, Paprika and Mailbox and Magenta, like I was getting into it. I was excited.
Sounds like a lot of us. I was really excited to. I'll be fairly honest here. But now, for those who don't know, I was a little surprised mainly because Blue's Clues, yes, it is a popular show, but nowhere compared to Nickelodeon's other preschool hit Dora the Explorer, which is just now getting last year just got an announcement for a brand new show, CGI show, and a show based off of her recent movie Dora in the Last City of Gold, which is a completely different take than what we're used to with Dora. I mean, they did left in some of the classic things like Dora growing up in the rainforest and all that, but other than that, it was not really. It's a really interesting take on Dora, I'll say that much. But Dora is just now getting a CGI series.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard like there's like a storyboard leaked online. It looks fun, you know.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what they do with Dora, because for those who haven't paid attention to the latest couple of seasons of Dora, they've been heavily pushing the CGI on it, so it was only a matter of time, but I'm very curious to see how it goes. But anyways, getting back into the Blue's Clues conversation, so, Blue's Clues is one of my favorites, so I guess now going into the show itself, time to ask you a couple of hard-hitting questions. So,
okay.
Favorite location in Blue's Clues universe?
Favorite location? I mean, it had to be the house. I mean, come on. It's where it all takes place, you know, the thinking chair, and the kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom. Like, I mean, especially the thinking chair.
I mean, let's be fair here. All of us want a thinking chair. I wish I had.
Yeah, just wish I could, like, just be right there with Blue and everyone, just having fun and looking for clues and getting the mail and skidooing.
Oh.
I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to be in the Blue's Clues world.
Oh, me too, man. Me too. I would die to be on that episode. Even if this was just for one episode, I would literally think that. I guess that dream's still way far off from coming true, right? But alright, favorite character. Although I think I already know your answer on this.
Favorite character? That's a tough one. I mean, I like Blue. I mean, she's a puppy and like, she's like, bo, you know, but I mean, well, and Josh with his guitar, and Tickety Talk, she's just so good at telling time, and Mailbox. You know what? I like Blue and Josh and Tickety and Mailbox. They're like my quartet right there.
Fair enough. Those are some pretty good choices. I'm personally a long time Blue fan. Mailbox is a close second to me. And close second though. I mean, really, he's like one of the funniest characters in the whole show. Favorite episode.
Favorite episode.
Of both the original and Blue's Clues and you.
Favorite episode. I mean, from the original, not really that much I remember, except for Joe's Clues. That was a lot of fun.
Fairly true.
Yeah, and then for the And You series, I really like the first episode, Meet Josh, because, well, we get introduced to Josh for the first time, and he calls up Steve and Joe to help him play Blue's Clues. Like, I rewatched the clip when they were singing to play Blue's Clues, and like, oh my gosh, I like, it's so crazy.
I know, right?
It's like seeing Josh just get into it. They're like, "Who's Clues?" And Josh is like, "Blue's Clues."
Yes, right. Oh man, that was just. I kind of felt Steve and Joe when he finally got out. I was like, I nearly cried.
Yeah, they're like, "You know what to do?" And he's like, "I do." Like, that's exactly my reaction.
I was like, Steve, easy there. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Let me see. You probably were there. So what did you think of the 25th anniversary music video that they came out with last year?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, it was a whole lot of fun. And yeah, the song got stuck in my head.
Duh. I still hum it sometimes.
I know.
Speaking of which, for those who haven't been keeping an eye on that music video, as of right now, last time I checked, it reached over 5 million views, I think.
Makes sense for a song. It's easy to get stuck in your head.
Yeah. And fun fact, or spoiler warning if you haven't seen the show, as me, Blue's Clues Live, which unfortunately, sadly got postponed. I feel bad for the whole cast of that. Yeah, for those who are just finding out, unfortunately, Blue's Clues and You live on stage got postponed. I'm not sure what happened, but dang, I gotta feel bad for the cast. Hopefully, we still see the show later on next year, but man, that stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I have been seeing vids on YouTube of it, and it's really, really good. Like the way the performers bring Blue and Josh and Tiggity and Mailbox and everyone to the stage, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and seeing it in person, I can speak for myself that it is a well put together show.
I definitely want to be a performer in there. Like maybe if they do like Halloween version soon, I would do great as like maybe like a skeleton that would live in a haunted house, and they would dance to the Halloween song.
Oh,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot.
And they would join the show at the end.
Oh yeah,
with all of them, with everyone.
Oh yeah, totally. That would be totally cool. But yeah, honestly, that music video was pretty cool. And then when you saw the first trailer for Blue's Big City Adventure, how'd you react?
I was just in awe, like seeing Josh and Blue in New York City. It was amazing. And then when Mr. Soul was like, Josh forgot his handy dandy notebook. I'm like, what? No, like they can't have Blue's Clues without the notebook.
I know.
And then they were traveling to New York City. I was already excited seeing Mr. Soul and Slippery and Tiggity all there on Statue of Liberty. And then when I got to Steve, I was just like, yes, Steve, yes, it's me.
I know, right? I know. I think a lot of people lost it on that one. Yeah. For those who haven't seen the trailer or trying not to go in, unfortunately, poor Josh, in all of his excitement to go on this audition, got his handy dandy notebook. Oh, and from the latest clip we saw from today, they did drop a new clip. They seem to be dropping clips throughout a week, and I won't be surprised if we see a couple more throughout the week.
Well, actually, I noticed that they released the On Our Way clip on November 3rd, and then just today they released
How to Play Blue's Clues clip.
How to Play Blue's Clues. So I'm guessing that every 2 to 3 days they'll release a new clip. We might be getting a clip on November, I think, 9th next.
Yes, that seems to be the hunch, because yesterday we just got a regular Blue's Clues upload in a different language, which is kind of usual usual for the channel. They usually upload clips of different languages in addition to the English-speaking clips that we get because Blue's Clues does not have an international channel, and Nick Jr. does not have international channels all over the place just to keep things easier probably for the managers. So that being said, we probably will be seeing clips 1 to 2 days because, like I said, Blue's Clues is having new episodes all week, so they're probably going to be heavily pushing Blue's that as well. Because in case you also haven't seen the social media for Blue's Clues, it is literally all decked out in all Blue's Clues glue. Like in the portfolio pics for Nick Jr., Blue's ears are there, and then Twitter banner they have.
They got character posters on Twitter, and like I've even seen a clip that was posted on YouTube of the mail time scene where they get the letter from Rainbow Puppy, and like just seeing the Blue's Clues world like in this new style is so amazing.
Yeah, this is totally different. I mean, honestly, if Blue's Clues was in this style, if Blue's Clues was in this style going forward, I would totally not mind it. I think it's just for the movie. It kind of stinks. But honestly, if Nickelodeon decided to switch the style, I would not blame them. But then again, I don't want to push the animes already. Blue's probably already hassle enough, and this is a big budget movie. So, but if it is successful, hopefully we can see this. That being said, yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. I can't believe we're about a week away, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm also excited about posting my Wattpad story too.
Oh, that's right. Time to switch gears into the next part of the interview. So, for those who don't know, he, like I said earlier, the Smart Radical, if you don't mind that, he posts Wattpad stories. He's posted quite a few other stories. We'll get into some of the other stuff he's worked on in a little bit, but we'll focus on Blue's Clues for now because he's working on 4 stories if I'm correct, for Blue's Clues at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why don't you tell them a little bit about each of them?
Well, first off, there's Nick Jr. the musical.
I see.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah. So basically, it's theoretically what would happen if Nickelodeon made in general Nick Jr. show featuring several of their characters, or if it was like some sort of special for Nick Jr. featuring all the different characters. So
yeah, well, what it is that it kind of takes place in the universe of another Nick Jr. thing I'm working on called Nick Jr. the movie. The Nick Jr. movie is what I'm calling it, and in that it has the characters. In universe, like they usually do their shows, but then after their shows are over for the day, they go to this place called Juniorville, where they can all sort of cross over and interact with each other.
Oh, I see. So it's like a behind the scenes. It's kind of like after the screen is turned off.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So what is Nick Jr. the musical about?
In the movie, Broby and Dima and Shine Marshall and Abby Hatcher, they're this group called the Junior Squad. They love to just play and have a lot of fun with each other. But in the movie, this glitch comes to town, so then they team up with all the other characters from Juniorville to destroy it. But then in the musical, however, what happens this time is that there's this guy named Dylan, and he owns this theater that's in Juniorville, and he really wants to put on a show. So they all create a Nick Jr. musical with stories from each of their own worlds. So we get a story based on the Tiny Chef show. We get one with Yo Gabba Gabba. We get one with Bubble Guppies with Molly and Dima and Gil and Tuli and Nani and this new guy named Finn. They're trying to imagine a show. And then we get Blue's Clues and you.
Of course. I kind of did. I was actually reading that chapter in specifics before I read the rest of it.
And in fact, the whole musical is that Brody, Dee, Shine Marshall, and Abby, and all of their friends are putting on a show, a musical. And well, the only problem is they don't have a guest star. So then they decide to get Dylan. But what's wrong with Dylan is that he doesn't know how to sing or dance or even play with his friends. So then while they're teaching him how to sing and dance and get ready for the big finale, the rest of the gang show their stories.
That is a great musical. Honestly, I can definitely just see it as a stage production. I'll be fair here.
Yeah.
That would totally be cool. But yeah, you guys should totally go read that. And then you said Nick Jr. the movie. Is that one of your earlier works?
Yeah, I'm still working on that one too.
Oh, okay. Is it up on Multipad right now, or is it not in a presentable state?
Oh, I'm still working on like trailers and TV spots for it. It's gonna start eventually.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you for a little bit of insight on that too. Yeah. Okay, why don't you talk about the next one that you're working on, which is Total Clues production.
Yeah, well, the next one is Blue's Big City Adventure, the fan version.
So basically, the opposite of what we're gonna see from the official movie. It's gonna from what I've seen, it's loosely based on what we've seen so far. It'll probably be a lot easier once the actual movie comes out, because then he really let his imagination get loose with it. But for the time being, this is all based off of knowledge we know about the movie so far. From what I've read, yes, I know. So why don't you talk about what's going to be different with the fan version compared to the official version of the movie?
Well, in the fan version, I transformed Blue from a normal barking little puppy into a human.
Yeah, so Blue is a human in this fan version, which is different than what you know.
Yeah, as for my other stories too, I think except for Nigeria the musical though, in that she's still a puppy but she can't talk in that one. But in the rest of my stories, Blue is a human.
Yes. This is going to account for the other two we'll talk about after this one. But also there's another twist in addition to not just Blue being transformed into a human, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there's a twist. What happens is that when Mailbox and Mr. Salt and Tickety go to New York to give Blue and Josh back their notebook and to find Blue and Josh, they also get turned into humans as well.
Exactly. So the twist is that Blue, that in addition to what Blue was already human, as you said before this, but Mailbox, Tickety, and Mr. Salt also get transformed into a human. Probably. Maybe
yeah, it's crazy. Like Tickety, instead of having bells, she has poofs of hair, and Mr. Salt, like, he has a chef hat on, a little mustache, and Mailbox has like a flag on his head and some nice hair and hands and feet.
I can just see it now. But yeah, it is a little bit. It is a lot different than what we're doing now. From what I noticed.
Yeah, and I even made some drawings of them.
Ooh,
too. So you'll see what their human forms look like. I made some drawings.
Oh, nice.
That I posted on there too.
Oh, okay then. Well, have to take
Did you look at those yet? Sure, they're really cool.
Unfortunately, I have not seen them yet. Yeah, but I'll definitely take a look. I'll link it in the description below as well, if that's okay with you, so the fans can see it too.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, those are that is pretty cool. So and then I think that's it. Like I said, this one's gonna be loosely based on the movie. So there are gonna be mostly parts are similar, but because we really have to go off of the marketing material that Nickelodeon releases, he can't really go all out with the movie until we actually see what the movie is standalone first. But there is quite a bit, so I think we're gonna have a lot. He's gonna have a lot to work with. Hopefully, we get more snippets soon. All right, and then why don't you talk about your next work that you're working on for Blue's Clues?
Then okay. Then my next one. Hold on, I'm bringing it up. Hold on. It's called Blue's Playdate with You.
Yes. This one is work in progress right now. This one he's currently working on as we speak. So basically, you know how he said earlier that Blue is a human. Instead of Josh being the host, Blue is the host of this show. Blue is the host of this show, if I'm correct. I see. So curious question. Why no Josh?
I wanted to try something a little different with my version of Blue's Clues to You. I mean, sure, Steve, Joe, and Josh are still going to be in it, but, well, they're going to make, at least, just a few appearances here and there, because, well, I want to see what it would be like if Blue would be the host instead. I'm treating this as, a spin-off of Blue's Clues to You, if, in an alternate universe, if Blue was a human, if she could talk to the audience.
That's pretty cool. I'll link that one in the description below, but like I said, it's a work in progress. He only has a couple of the episodes up of what they're going to be, but the actual episodes haven't been fully written yet. He's working on this as we go.
The first episode I'm still working on is called Blue's Big Show.
Yes. Some of the other ones, to give a little bit of hint, he's working on a spy one. He's working on, I think, a detective one.
Yeah.
And
that one's gonna have Steve in it.
I figured. Prime up.
Yeah, and then in Secret Agent Blue, there's a funny little spoof on the Secret Agent Man song, but instead of Secret Agent Man, Secret Agent Blue. And then that transitions into the theme song.
Got you.
I even made a COVID episode too.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Based off of the COVID playdates that we have with Josh. That is pretty cool too. And then he's even doing one. Get ready for this.
What?
We're not playing Blue's Clues at all.
I know. I'm freaking out about that one.
Yeah, you heard me. Blue is resisting the ability to play Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's gonna go for her.
It's crazy. Right when she announces that, you feel something's off.
Right. Blue would never not play Blue's Clues. We always do. On the vacation.
There's even a moment where you hear the dun 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 sound effect. It's hilarious.
So interesting. I can't wait to see that one in particular. And then so keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, even that episode, we even get a moment where we travel into Blue's brain. Or rather, we skidoo into Blue's brain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot wait to see you finish that episode in particular. But I can't wait to see the Big Show one finished too, and all the rest of them as well. So.
Yeah, but just saying though, in the One Day Without Blue's Clues, it's crazy because Blue tries not to do what she usually do, like open the mail, or look for clues, or even put a clue on something. But every time she tries, she kind of goes a little crazy. She really wants to, but she knows she can't.
That's gonna be one interesting episode of Blue's Playdate with You.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see him. So yeah, I'll link that one in the description below. But again, he's working on it. on it. So, and then there is one more that he's working on, but that's not really going to be a big focus until next year. So,
Yep.
Why don't you talk about that one?
And that one's called Blue, a Nick Jr. movie.
Yes. So this takes place in between the original series ending and then up to Blue's Clues in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you talk about the synopsis a little?
Well, we get to see what happens before Blue's Clues and You, and we get to see what happens when Josh first meets Blue. In this case, when he first meets the human version of Blue.
Yes. Not the dog version, the human version.
Yeah.
So maybe after reading his, I might be inspired to see what would happen in the Blue's Clues universe versus what would happen if Blue met what you go by.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's very interesting. If I recollect, you did post something on Instagram to one of my questions. I heard the Paw Patrol might be involved in this one.
Oh yeah, because what happens when Josh meets Blue for the first time is that she takes him to her house, and then we learn that Blue used to have Steve and Joe as her dads, and that Josh is like her third dad now. And Josh also meets Blue's friends. He starts to discover that Blue may just be his best friend. But then what happens is that one day when they're looking for clues, all of a sudden this blue light beams down and it captures Josh and Blue because they're like running from these evil robot versions of the puppy version of Blue that are chasing them, and then this light comes down, and then Josh and Blue get captured by it. And as soon as they know it, they're in the Air Patroller, and then they meet some of the Paw Patrol.
I assume all 6 main cops are going to be involved in this movie?
Well, just a few of them, not all of them,
Okay.
but just a few.
Just a few.
Like, I mean, there's going to be Chase, and Sky, and Marshall, and Ryder.
Oh, okay, so...
And they're all trying to stop Mayor Humdinger because he wants to steal Blue so he could use Blue's magic to take over the world.
Blue's that powerful? Well, yeah, Blue's that powerful.
Because, I mean, she can skidoo, and she could talk, and she could transform from a puppy into a human and back again. Because in this one, we learn she is half puppy and half human. That's why she keeps the ears on.
Oh. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Now that's a theoretical movie. Unfortunately, I don't think Nickelodeon would even go that far if they ever made something to begin with. But that
right, yeah.
But that is an interesting concept. Like I said, he's only posted the teaser. It is not coming into 2023, unfortunately. But
yep.
But thank you for a little bit of an insight on that one too. I'm very much looking forward to all of your Blue's Clues stuff.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now speaking of which, are there any other shows that you are planning for the future to work on stories?
Well, I'm working on some based on the Cuphead show.
Ooh, I see.
And they focus on it, and like, one of them focuses on if like Miss Chalice will be Cuphead and Mugman's brother.
Oh, I see. Brother? Don't you mean sister?
I mean, yeah, she was Cuphead and Mugman's sister.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I think they make a great trio, you know?
Right? I've noticed that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Any other shows?
And others, I have one based on the bad guys. I have like a version where Tiffany Fluffett, who's like, I guess a minor character in the bad guys movie, gets to be a part of the gang. I'm really excited for that one. Because we get to see a side of her we've never seen before. Because in the movie, she's at least like in there for a few scenes, but not a lot. So in my version, we get to see her as a main character.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting to see. I cannot wait for that. Well, if I may give you some inspiration, I'm not sure if you've seen it. I might have to show you sometime. But have you heard of the show Gabby's Dollhouse?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Gabby's Dollhouse is actually co-created by Terry, the voice of Blue. She made that show, and it's kind of inspired by. It has some magical elements. Ironically, it's about cats rather than dogs.
Oh, cool.
And basically, to put a synopsis, also for those who want to watch the show, Gabby Girl is. She lives in her room, and she has this magical dollhouse. And with a pinch of the left ear and a pinch of the right, magical cat ears, so similar to what human Blue has. She can go inside a dollhouse, and the dollhouse comes to life. Like all the little figures that you see in the dollhouse, they become actual characters. Characters that you can interact with, and her plushie candy balls also comes to life as well. So it's like a real dollhouse inside of a real room. So it's kind of like the pure magical human Blue, but instead the magic is always with her. So maybe I can give you some inspiration. I might send an episode your way so you can watch what Gabby's Dollhouse is. Maybe get some inspiration from it. Or maybe even do it.
I mean, it's on Netflix, so.
Oh, that's true. There's that too. But yeah, that's a show I would love to see you write something about. Maybe even do a crossover with Blue's because I've always imagined that myself, considering how.
Yeah. Another Wattpad story I'm working on is like one based on Toy Story 4.
Oh.
I really love the characters of Forky and Giggle McDimples. But I noticed the two never really interacted in the movie at all. So I'm making Forky's story. And with that, we get to see what would happen if Forky would be the one that goes on the whole adventure instead of Woody. Like maybe instead of Forky getting captured and Woody having to save him, it's Woody getting captured, and now Forky's the one who has to save him. And he meets Bo, and he meets Giggle, and Ducky, and Bunny, and Duke. And they all try to save Woody, while Forky and Giggle learn what it takes to be a toy.
I see.
I'm really excited for that one.
That sounds like a very, very, very cool adventure. I cannot wait to do that one. Okay, so to get familiar with your works, what stories would you recommend your fellow?
The stories would I recommend? There's so many I've written. I think I might start with one of my Ron's Gone Wrong stories. They're really good.
Oh, okay. Synopsis on those, I'm not familiar with that one.
I mean, you haven't seen Ron's Gone Wrong, right?
No.
You should. It's a really good movie, and my stories continue Ron's story from the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're a fan of that movie, then be sure to check out his work on that. Any other ones?
Well, I think the best one is Disney's Imagine, because in that one it's about Forky and Giggle and Ron. And what happens is that Forky and Giggle discover a strange portal in Bai's room, and it takes them into the Cave of Wonders from the Aladdin remake, and then they meet Ron, the Bebop from Ron's Gone Wrong, and then the cave tells them that they've lost their sense of imagination. So then they discover the lamp that Aladdin used in his movie. They rub it, and out comes Will, who's the Will Smith genie, and then a new genie named Anna, who's played by Anna Pantsu, you know, the girl who did the cover of Friend Like Me on YouTube, that girl.
Oh, gotcha.
And the genies take take Forky, Giggles, and Ron through different Disney stories. We get to see him interact with Mirabelle and her family from Encanto, and they also make kids laugh in the world of monsters at work. And they even go down to 100 Acre Wood and meet Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and Piglet, and all of their friends.
Interesting. Okay, that definitely.
It's really fun. And through going to all these different places, they soon discover all these different elements of imagination.
Oh, I see. That sounds like a very good story. Okay, that's the one that I'll have to check out myself. One more story that you would recommend to our fans.
One more story. It's kind of hard to choose. There's just so many. But you know what? If I had to choose one more, it'd be The Fairly Odd Parents, Magical Mayhem.
Oh, interesting. What is that one about?
There's this version of The Fairly Odd Parents Fairly Odd I worked on called The Fairly Odd Parents Wishful Thinking, and that one's like a prequel reboot of Fairly Odder, which is like a reboot of Fairly Odd Parents but in live action. So in Wishful Thinking, in that one, what happens is that Timmy Turner and Trixie Tang have moved into Dinsdale and their families are combined, so now they're brother and sister. But then they don't really fit in, so then Trixie's cousin Tyler gives them Cosmo and Wanda, a pair of fairy godparents. But then since Timmy sees them as well, they gotta share them. So maybe like Trixie makes a wish and Timmy makes a wish. And through their wishes, they learn how to be brother and sister, and they develop a really sweet relationship between them and their godparents, too.
I see. Okay, that's cool.
And halfway into the first season, a new fairy named Brandy Lynn gets into the mix, and soon now they have 3 fairies now instead of just 2. And then that continues well into like the second season with like even more like hilarious wishes. And like there's one episode in season 2 when they learn they're in a live action cartoon. It's really, really hilarious.
Wow, that's pretty.
But then once it gets to the end of that season, the last episode where it's time to say goodbye to their godparents, Trixie wishes for the last wish for Timmy. Of course, he wishes for a hot tub, but then he like puts a note saying how much he loved making wishes and having fun with his family. And then for Trixie, she wishes Cosmo, Wanda, and Brandy would be a family. And then poof, that wish comes true, and now they're a family. So in Magical Mayhem, what happens now is that they're done, they're gone, they poofed away back to fairy world, but just as they're about to get their new god kids, Jorgen tells them like fairies and god kids are like both like in high capacity, so then instead they're going to become the first ever fairy god family. So now it's like a spin-off, so we get to see what happens in fairy world, where what the fairies get up to, where they're not making wishes for god kids, they're just having a lot of fun.
You know, that is true. You really don't get to see get to see too much of what the fairies are usually up to with not making wishes. I mean, somewhat get to in some episodes, but not all that much. Fair, at least that I know. So that's really interesting. You know, I'll have to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool. Okay then. Let me see. I gotta see what I've asked you. Okay, so what inspired you to make stories? stories based off of the shows that you've watched?
Well, I mean, I want to explore like what happened in these shows and movies if some things went a little different, or maybe if there were like alternate universes where some of these shows and movies would get a little twist. You know?
That's a pretty good answer. I'll be fair here. Definitely, I think that is a good answer.
I'm even working on one based on that DreamWorks Theater. Based on like the DreamWorks Theater. Like, there's one part in the pre-show where you can see all the different DreamWorks characters and they're trying to figure out what show they should do. And at one point we see Poppy and Gingy. And they want to make a show with like sparkles, and they want to make it like one big party. And Poe comes in, he's like, "We're doing a Kung Fu Panda show." And it shows everyone all the different weapons from the Kung Fu Panda movies. But then when Shifu says they might not survive for the journey about to go on, everyone leaves except for Poppy and Gingy because they want to go on the journey with Poe. But they're like, "No, we need people that are a little bigger." And Poppy's like, "Okay, let's have a tea party, Gingy." But then we don't get to see that tea party. That's sad. So in a not so tiny tea party, we get to see what happens when Poppy and Gingy have a tea party. But then Mr. Peabody comes along and brings these things called Wayback Balls that can take you through different DreamWorks worlds. And then Poppy, being Poppy, she smashes some on the floor and makes a shockwave and takes them through all the different DreamWorks worlds.
Interesting.
Yeah, and all the craziness, they team up with apocalyptic versions of themselves, and they try and help Poe out, and to get the Ming Hammer back from Kang.
Well, okay, that is pretty interesting. That definitely sounds like a cool. Well, then
I know it's a lot to process, but it's really a lot to process, but it's really easy if you read the story. It's really good.
I'll definitely take a look. Yeah. Now, I do. Before we get to our last two questions, I have to ask you. I do want to give you some recommendations for shows that I think that you could definitely do. You definitely could use your twists, in my opinion. So I always recommend you Gabby's Dollhouse. But another show that I think that would definitely be an interesting one is Blues Room. You know that show.
Blues Room?
Now,
oh yeah, with the puppet version of Blue.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm not really leaning towards it, but maybe.
Let me see. What else could I... Chico Bonbon, Monkey with a Tube Out. That one is pretty hilarious. So basically, it is based off of books, and it features Chico Bonbon.
I've heard about this show. I've heard about it.
Oh yes. It is a very funny show. I think it would definitely fit your style for sure.
I never watched it though. I've seen the trailer, but I never watched it.
I'll have to see when I find a free episode up on YouTube, so you can take a look at it. But it is a very funny show. So basically, it's about Chico Bonbon, this monkey with a tube. And basically, they go on these wacky adventures trying to fix things around the city. And the team is made up of Chico, the monkey, Rainbow Thunder, the cat and Stuff, one of the group, Clark, which is your average Joe, but funny type person, and then we have Tiny, who's the silent, but still being concealed. And together they make the Fix-It Force to help solve problems throughout the city.
Oh, cool.
And then one more I would recommend is Sesame Street Mecha.
Oh, Mecha Builders. I love that show.
Oh, you heard of it then.
In fact, I mean, are literally making a Sesame Street story where Smarty, a character from Elmo's world, visits Sesame Street for the first time. I feel like Smarty would really fit into Sesame Street somehow.
Yeah, so I think Mechabotus could use your twist, because it hasn't gotten too many more episodes, and I would love to see some more adventures, especially if the Mechabotus came to Sesame Street and not the puppet version of Elmo, Cookie Monster, and Annie.
Whoa, that would be crazy.
And I think that's about it with recommendations. If you have any other questions about shows and recommendations, but my last two questions for you before we wrap this up is there any, and I mean any show, if you had one choice to write an episode for any show, which one would it be?
Any show? That's kind of hard. I mean, there's like a bazillion.
Okay.
I might make one based on Mighty Magic Swords, like if I were in it. That'd be pretty cool. Like if I were in there, I would be like just like Prize and there, but I would like get a bunch of magic swords too. I definitely wield the bacon magic sword.
Bacon?
Cause I like bacon.
I'm not a bacon person, but I'm bad. But that would be pretty cool to see you wield the bacon sword.
Yeah, I mean, I would like whenever like Prize and Amber would find my sword out, but I'll just be right along with them.
Alright then. Okay. That's a good one. And then let's see. Here's a good last question. So if it is one show that is there one show that you're just like you want to do a story on, but you're just stumped on what you could do? What is that show or show?
If there was a show I didn't want to make a story on.
No. If there's a show that you want to make a story on, but you're stumped on what you could write.
I want to make a story on.
But you're stumped, like you can't think of any ideas.
I'm not really quite sure. I might want to make one based on the Grinch, the 2018 one from Illumination. I'm not sure how though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Grinch story is pretty much perfect. I'm not sure how you could really do that. I mean, you could do a follow-up to that story, but
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing a follow-up before. Not quite sure how though.
Yeah, that's the issue. How would you follow that up? Because it ends up pretty perfect. I'll be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just have to. We would just have to. That one would be a little harder. I would be fair. But yeah. Okay, so before I let you go, dude, why don't you tell the fans?
Wait, wasn't the last question gonna be about mailbox in some way or form?
Oh yeah, that's right. Right. I'm gonna be posting this question, of course, on Instagram as well. But favorite mailbox moment.
Favorite mailbox what quote?
Moment, like any moment that mailbox has been a part of the show.
Any moment. I think it has to be in the Blues Big musical movie.
Oh, that's a good choice. That is a good choice.
Yeah, because like he wants to like be a comedian.
Yes. That is a good choice. That is definitely a good choice.
Or maybe a Mailtime Mystery where he's like kind of a central part of the episode because he has a letter to deliver, but it's all smutsed. But soon we find out it's from Mailbox. And then we get to see Steve, Joe, and Rainbow Puppy singing an extended version of the Mailtime song to show how much they care for him. It's really sweet.
Yes, it really is sweet. And it's kind of, in a way, a dedication to how popular Mailtime is as well. Because Mailtime is like one of the many things that many fans remember from the show.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I noticed in the Blues Play musical movie, I've been rewatching it. I noticed that in that one, the whole gang is like treated as kind of a family. In that, because like I noticed they like had breakfast together. So it's just so adorable.
yes. So, I would like to say that that is a good choice. That is a good choice. Those are some good choices, man. Those are some good choices. So, yeah. The last thing I wanted to say is, where can the fans find you? Like, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Wattpad.
Yeah, you can find them on all those places. I'll link some of those in the description below, so that way the fans have an easier time finding you. And I'll also link some of the Waltz Pass stories that you recommended as well. But I guess I can ask one final question.
What is it? I'm all ears. It could be anything.
Alright. How on a scale of 1 to 10 paw prints, how hyped are you for the movie?
You know I am hyped. I give it a 10. I'm pretty excited to see what's gonna happen with Blue and Josh because, I mean, they forgot their notebook. I mean, have you seen the new clip?
Yes.
We put in a notebook if we had one.
Yes.
Kind of brings up a Fairly Odd Parents moment right there.
Right?
Yeah, I can just imagine. We put it in a notebook if we had one. Sorry, that's the happy, but the happy's back.
But yeah, that is going to be a big part. Now, before you say, but Josh just forgot his notebook before, we'll find out. Yeah, no, I don't think so this time. Usually when Post doesn't have a notebook for Blues Clues, they get some kind of alternative notebook. So, and Josh.
Yeah, but this time it's gonna be Mr. Soul and Tiggity, and at least in my version, Mailbox, who's gonna all bring the notebook back to them.
Yeah, and hopefully Josh will run whatever Josh does, he'll run about all 3 clues, because I don't think he's gonna. I have a bad feeling he's not gonna be able to do anything this time. Well, guy, all the excitement, and he forgets the one thing that he needs for this type of adventure.
Is a notebook, but they don't have one. Put in our notebook, which we don't have.
But I know for a fact that they'll get through. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Or let's hope that Steve and Joe find them first.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they don't get distracted, because, Steve with the pretzel.
Yeah, Billy, Steve, a pretzel. At a time like this, where Josh and Blue are literally lost in New York City and need help.
Exactly.
Well, well. It could be worse. At least it's... let's just hope that Joe doesn't get distracted with ducks or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again, Smart Radical, for coming on my InterviewClues show. I really do appreciate having you on. Do you have any last things you want to say to our fans before you go?
Anything? It could be anything, right?
Anything.
I mean, man, all this Blues Clues stuff. We've gotten the original, then the reboot, then the live show. The live show is freaking good. If you haven't, go watch it on YouTube. It's amazing. I think the best thing I want to say is that, if you use your mind and take a step at a time, you can do anything that you wanna do. So true, Josh, and Steve, and Joe, and Blue.
Very true. But yeah, thanks again, man. that is it for today's episode. About almost an hour long, man. Sheesh. And I really, and like I said, I'll leave everything in the description below so you guys can take a look. I should have this up by tomorrow. I'm probably gonna work dead into the night to get this done. But I appreciate you, man, for coming on, and I will see you. And for the viewers, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, and this is yours truly, Music, signing out. See you guys.
Oh wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
And we'll never forget you, ever.
You can say that again, my friend.
Yeah.
Alright, see you guys later.